Developing now, shocking new details of Meghan Markle's major row with Vogue magazine. And this time she's taken on the Queen. No, not that Queen, the Queen of Fashion, Anna Wintour herself.
This woman is really, really not oppressed. She's opportunistic.
Been less than kind, unimaginative and frustrating, said Hollywood's Bible Variety magazine. So sickening, I almost brought up my breakfast, said the woke Bible, The Guardian. All the intimacy of Instagram, sneered the normally timid New York Times. A nauseating self-serving snooze fest, said another pundit. Well, that was me, actually.
It doesn't work for you to shoulders back, breasts out, headlights going, and try to look as bitchy as possible.
Do you see any of the real Diana in Meghan? Did you?
No.
Really?
No. Sorry. We are uncensored, but oh my God, the idea there's any comparison between Diana, who was the biggest star in the world.
I want to take a picture. Let's take a picture. Let's take a picture.
When British Vogue unveiled its inaugural Best Dressed list, it wasn't just a celebration of style, it was a statement. At the very top sat the Princess of Wales, calm and unbothered, exuding effortless grace. But it wasn't the crown on her head that caught everyone's attention. No, the real moment of intrigue came when Vogue revealed their second list, the 55 most influential names shaping culture right now. A-list actors, designers, musicians, and insiders, each with a unique title, each standing for something that transcended just fashion. Yet, one name was glaringly absent, Meghan Markle. No ranking, no honorable mention, not even a whisper. And when a fashion powerhouse like Vogue chooses silence, it's not an accident, it's deliberate.
Body language. Oh my God, no amount of PR spin is going to deal with that.
It's a message. In fashion, being ignored speaks volumes louder than being criticized. A door didn't slam in her face. It closed quietly, almost imperceptibly. That's how power operates. But there's more to this story than just a missing name.
Anna wasn't interested.
But for my own eye, I like it best when they look a little bit more.
In the fashion world, silence isn't empty. It's a message. When Meghan Markle's name didn't appear in Vogue's prestigious, most stylish A-listers list, it wasn't simply an oversight. It was calculated. For a magazine that holds so much cultural weight, leaving someone out is no small thing. It's the quietest form of rejection, a soft closing of a door that once felt wide open.
She's walking around Paris like she's the She's got her arms flowing. She's really feeling her oats.
In this industry, being overlooked is often louder than being criticized. It speaks directly to influence, or the lack of it. And this wasn't about a missed opportunity. It was about power dynamics. Fashion is about more than just what's on the outside. It's about who controls the narrative. Meghan had once been the center of attention, the embodiment of new, fresh energy. But in this moment, her absence from the list made one thing clear. It's not enough to just be seen. In fashion, being ignored means your influence has faded.
Is it stupidity? Is it complicity? Or is it just that she has so much on them that they have to play ball?
It's fear. She's very, very manipulative. She's very good at playing people. So, for example, William is very against her. I mean, clearly Philip was very against her. But she works on people like Camilla. She works on people like Charles.
And Vogue? They weren't just looking at what someone wears. They were reading between the lines. And when silence speaks, it says something deeper. Vogue's list isn't about the clothes you wear, it's about the power you wield when you wear them. It's not just about trends, it's about who shapes culture without ever needing to announce it. Vogue wasn't looking for those who chase influence. No, they were after those who command it naturally.
It was just a terrible look. She does not look good. It looks like something you would see at a grandma's, like, you know, if she's celebrating her, let's say, 60th wedding anniversary, that's what a grandma would wear.
True style isn't loud. It's subtle, it's unspoken, and it speaks volumes without ever having to say a word. Influence doesn't need a loud microphone. It simply enters the room and demands attention.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And you know, I like to think that Meghan would like that. Meghan likes to be number one. Meghan does not simply degrade Prince Harry. She degrades his entire family, his entire legacy. And this is a different kind of embarrassment. She has mocked his heritage, his traditions, his grandmother, the former Queen of England, and it seems like she did so happily.
What does it take to be included on that list? It takes the ability to shape the narrative, to create an impact without shouting for recognition. It's the quiet confidence that makes the world turn their heads without even realizing it's happening. When fashion becomes effortless, when it becomes part of your DNA, that's when you know you've made it. And that's the power Vogue was looking for, people who didn't need to scream, "Look at me," because their presence alone was a statement. Now, let's shift the focus to someone who embodies this exact power.
But for my own eye, I like it best when they look a little bit more real.
And then there was Catherine. Vogue didn't just include her. They crowned her, not just as a style icon, but as an eternal influencer placed at the very top of their list. This wasn't about momentary trends or fleeting fashion statements. This was about consistency, about quiet, understated power that lasts. Catherine's fashion choices aren't driven by the season's latest trends. They're rooted in something deeper, a love for timeless vintage, an unwavering loyalty to British designers, and an almost magical ability to turn a single piece of clothing into a global sensation. She doesn't need a press tour or a manifesto to make an impact. One outfit, one appearance, and suddenly, entire collections fly off shelves. It's not an accident, it's influence. And as her role continues to evolve, especially with the royal warrants she will soon be issuing, Catherine's influence is set to grow even more. Her presence doesn't just move fashion, it moves markets, slowly, steadily, and with undeniable force. That's the real power behind her placement at the top. But it's not just about style, it's about what happens when influence turns into something much bigger. Catherine's influence isn't just a matter of public admiration, it's a force that moves markets. Every time she steps out in a designer outfit, sales skyrocket. Brands she wears sell out within hours. Designers see their revenue soar, all thanks to one appearance. This isn't hype, it's measurable impact. Fashion insiders don't just talk about the Kate effect because it sounds good. They track it. The moment Catherine wears something, it creates a ripple that's felt across the fashion world, and those ripples are worth billions. This is where the real power lies, not just in having a presence, but in moving systems. Vogue knows the language of influence, and they understand the economic weight behind Catherine's style. She doesn't chase after fashion houses, they quietly wait for her endorsement. And when she gives it, the results are immediate. Her ability to transform a brand, to breathe new life into a collection, is something very few in the industry can match. Catherine's style isn't just about what's trendy. It's about shaping the financial landscape of fashion itself. And while one woman's power grows, the contrast with the other becomes all the more striking. While Catherine's influence was celebrated, Meghan's absence spoke volumes. In a list filled with 55 names, each one carefully curated, each one embodying the essence of cultural relevance, Meghan wasn't there. Not even a mention.
Finally, Meghan Markle turns up at Paris Fashion Week, fancying herself to be kind of budget Angelina Jolie.
Wow.
But without the talent or the tits or the teeth. I mean, I think she fancies herself to be a bit of a catwalk model, more like an aged pussy on the prowl, looking for its next.
This wasn't about forgetting her. Vogue doesn't forget icons of her stature. It wasn't an oversight, it was a statement. In elite circles, being excluded from such a list isn't about popularity, it's about definition. Meghan once represented a new kind of influence, a breath of fresh air, a force of change. But now, she's no longer seen as part of that conversation. It's not just about what you wear, it's about what you stand for, what you represent at this very moment in time. And in this moment, Meghan no longer fits.
Harry, to put it politely, I think she is very manipulative. Meghan Markle is someone who's basically got rid of almost her entire family on her side, apart from her mother, her entire family on the father's side, including her father, which is incredibly sad. And now she's wrestled Harry away from his family.
The absence wasn't loud, it was quiet, and that's why it's so significant. It wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was Vogue signaling that Meghan's cultural authority has shifted. The door didn't slam shut, it simply stopped opening. But what happened when one of them decided to take control, rather than wait for it? It's not a humble collaboration she offers, it's a demand for control. She requested a feature with full creative authority, from image approvals to narrative direction, wanting complete command over how she was portrayed. And that, right there, is where the line was drawn.
Meghan Markle made impossible demands for her 2022 Vogue cover that never happened. Not even Beyonce gets the demand.
Vogue works with powerful women all the time, but there's one rule they rarely break. The magazine controls the story. And when a global figure tries to dictate that story, it raises alarms.
Well, this woman is just a master manipulator. It's the entire reason that they left the royal family in the first place. They constantly banged on about saying, we want privacy, we want privacy. Well, I don't think a 6-part Netflix series is privacy, nor is an Oprah interview. What she really wanted was control. because she is a manipulator. She wanted to be able to manipulate people, and she couldn't manipulate the press in the UK. That's why she was angry. She couldn't force people to write the stories that she wanted them to write. So therefore, she left to get privacy so that she could write the stories in her own perspective.
The request wasn't seen as ambitious, it was seen as entitled. In an industry built on trust and careful curation, this wasn't the approach Vogue was willing to entertain. They don't rehabilitate images on demand. They protect their own narrative, and they expect that same level of trust in return. Meghan's demand for control, rather than collaboration, sealed her fate. It wasn't just a polite no, it was a firm boundary that could not be crossed. And when the request for control was met with silence, it marked a turning point.
I was just checking Us Weekly.
Wow.
You know, Harry and Meghan's personal press release service. I want to give you some of the headlines from Us Weekly in the last few hours.
Okay.
Meghan Markle quietly attends Balenciaga's Paris Fashion Week show. Quietly.
Vogue's refusal wasn't loud, and that's what made it so impactful. In the world of high fashion, a polite no can resonate louder than a public rejection. It's the kind of silence that speaks volumes, the kind that says everything without uttering a word. The decision to deny Meghan was not about making a spectacle. It was about quietly withdrawing access, about drawing a line in the sand without a dramatic confrontation. Vogue didn't need to explain themselves. They didn't need to announce why. The message was clear. Meghan, in her current state, didn't align with the kind of influence Vogue chooses to amplify. In the fashion world, access isn't given lightly. It's earned through trust, consistency, and a quiet power that doesn't seek to control. When someone tries to take that control, it's not just a rejection, it's a signal. Vogue didn't need to announce they'd stepped away. The silence was deafening enough. But silence alone doesn't tell the whole story. There's one more crucial factor at play.
She got so wrapped up in telling the news that she just blurted it out. She blurted it out live on air. And you can see the other guy. The other guy's going like, what? What? Come on.
In the fashion world, overexposure isn't the same as visibility, it's erosion. The more Meghan appeared, the more predictable she became. What was once fresh and exciting slowly turned into something rehearsed, something you could see coming from a mile away. Every step, every appearance, began to feel like it was crafted for effect, as though she was trying to tell the world something instead of simply being herself.
Well, he seems to be. And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
I haven't heard that term in a while. She's a harlot, almost.
She's, well, harlot's bad, right? She's just powerful. She's...
Actually, that's a good point. Harlot and temptress.
Yeah, I think harlots are.
Comparing melons to apples.
The definition of a harlot is a prostitute.
Yeah, that's a whole word.
I take that back.
Yeah,
It's a error.
Yeah, I don't think she's that.
No.
But she?
No.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s.
Wow. No.
And that's where the mystique fades. Fashion thrives on mystery, on intrigue, on a sense of something untouchable. But when everything feels too controlled, too managed, that allure disappears. It's like an illusion that loses its magic the more you look at it. In contrast, Catherine's influence remains anchored in restraint. Her choices don't scream for attention, they command it. There's a quietness to her power, an ability to remain just out of reach, never pushing too hard for relevance, but always staying undeniably present. In the end, the difference is clear. One woman's power grows through subtlety and consistency, while the other's begins to fade with every carefully managed moment.
Meghan entered this world like it was a Hollywood set, assuming she could rewrite the script, center herself in every scene, and edit out anything that didn't fit her narrative.
In the end, the question isn't about who dressed better. It's about how two very different paths led to two very different outcomes. Catherine's quiet, consistent rise wasn't a fluke. She didn't force relevance. She let it come to her. By staying grounded in restraint, in authenticity, she built something that can't be erased. Meghan, on the other hand, learned the hard way that in the world of influence, power doesn't respond well to pressure.
Meghan Markle, on the other hand, I'm not going to say narcissist, psychopath, borderline, but I would say, parasite, and I would say highly manipulative. She's entered a foreign territory, literally and figuratively, and gouged something out of that territory, taken it away to another place, and is now feeding on it.
Her story shifted, her mystique faded, and what was once seen as groundbreaking began to feel like overexposure. Fashion, like power, doesn't need to be chased. It chooses where it feels most comfortable, and right now, it's clear where that is. So, what do you think? Is influence earned through quiet power, or is it about grabbing attention and holding on for dear life? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Stay tuned for more stories that shape the world of fashion and beyond.